Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is me, CatCorelli, and this is episode 252 of my Cat Vibes series. So, there is something that I wanted to talk about today while I'm painting. I think it's important to say this because I know some people might get it without even asking. Perhaps you are one of those people, but apparently there are people who are asking me this question. And people are asking, why did I pull down my old videos? And by old videos, I mean not just the Cat Talk show, but I've had a few videos where I was kind of lip-syncing and doing some funny stuff to some old songs. Namely, there was a song called Don't Ask, which on the new album is called You Won't Ask. I was doing something there to that old version of the song. And then at some point I pulled that one down, and I pulled down other songs as well, other videos as well, just because I felt that they are inappropriate. So someone approached me recently and asked me, like, where are those videos? And I tried to explain. I said that I feel that they are inappropriate, that they don't correspond to whoever I am today. It's not that all of a sudden that I've become bashful or something like this. I pulled down those videos and I think I've done the right thing ultimately because what am I doing here in this video? I'm painting. Why am I painting? There's a lot of questions. So why did I feel like painting? Let me go, explain. I actually thought that I was going to become a painter, and that was way back when I was a teenager. But then it turned out that I've ultimately picked music as my main occupation, and then I never had time, and then life got in the way. I think I told you this story several times. And then last year happened, and I felt that I need to stop doing whatever I'm doing, and I need to declutter. I need to declutter, and I need to reassess things, and I really need a major change. Because there are things that I'm not addressing, and there are things that I'm not admitting to myself. So I started to do a whole lot of work, and I think ultimately what I am living through in this past 5 years, perhaps even 6 years, is what is called the dark night of the soul. And it just happened so that I started my Cat Talk series, for example, during that dark night of my soul. If you don't know what the dark night of the soul means, look it up. It will explain a lot. So, the videos that I've taken down, they were from 2018, I believe, most likely. And nowadays I find them utterly inappropriate. And what I've realized is that in the past, I used to be many things. I was not really embracing who I truly am. I've been codependent. I've been a codependent. And I've been a people pleaser. is something that I'm working through nowadays. If you're paying attention to my lyrics, you might notice. You might have noticed what kind of work am I doing and what kind of realizations am I coming to. So, I didn't like those videos, looking back, because this was the old me. This was the old me being the people pleaser, being the deeply traumatized and somewhat unhinged character that I used to be. I'm not ashamed of that. It is what it is. This is my past. But I also don't think that it is appropriate or there is a good idea to have these videos up on my channel. So you will see things like my content getting refreshed. New content is showing up, and old videos and old music is gradually being pulled down. Tomorrow I'm gonna pull down, today, I'm gonna pull down my entire cover song album, and that is not for, any other reasons, any reasons other than I can't really maintain it. It's too expensive. And that's okay. I have my cat Donald here. I'm sitting on the floor in my office in the middle of the night, and my cat Donald is actively purring and trying to play with the cable. And I'm trying to prevent him from doing that. So, those old videos had to go. For these exact reasons. I pulled down a lot of my old content. My old Instagram posts, my old imagery. I left Facebook at some point, then I returned to Facebook just as a kind of a storefront appearance. And I am currently on Facebook, but I don't actively use Facebook. It's just like a kind of a must-have thing. Bottom line is that the decluttering that I was talking about last fall is something that I started back then in September, and then I just continued doing that, and it was like a layer after layer after layer peeling off of a lot of things, a lot of wounds, past traumatic experiences. And I had to rethink a lot of things. I had to reassess. And I'm still in this process. So, don't be surprised that some of my older content is just being pulled down. There will be no continuation to the Cat Talk series. At least I don't see a reason for it. I think I'll stick to the Cat Vibes format for now and see where it takes me. I'm looking forward to spring when it gets warmer, and I'll start dragging out my easel outdoors and filming some of my painting process outdoors. I also think that maybe I'll make some episodes where I'll be just, sitting by the fire pit, burning a fire and talking about things, whatever I feel like talking about. But I have to say that I don't regret doing all of my older content. I think it was necessary at the time. I think it's kind of a path. I don't think I did anything wrong. I guess I just had to come to certain conclusions. I had to realize certain things. And the only way that I could get there was through doing whatever the heck I was doing. And now I'm painting. And the thing about painting is that when I moved from Moscow to Kentucky, I thought to myself, damn, it would be so cool one day when I get old to pick up a brush and get some paint and start painting. And the thing is that I used to tell myself this exact thing for years. I used to tell me that one day when I will have some time, I will get me some paint, I'll get me some brushes, and I'll start painting. The reality is that I was going to become a painter way back. And then it was like on the back burner for the longest time. And then one day I just woke up and I thought to myself, you know what? Things happen right now. And if I just go on with that kind of narrative, it might never happen at all. So maybe it's a good time to actually reconnect with myself from the times when I was 12 years old, when I was 14, when I was 15. Pick up a brush, get some paint, and get to painting. And see what happens. Just go with that. And that doesn't mean that I have to chip away from music, from whatever I'm doing musically. Even though, by now, it ended up being something like I'm really trying to manage my schedule because it's very difficult. It's very difficult to mix an entire album that I'm working on right now, to record music, to practice, and to paint. Because I can't do anything in a half-assed fashion. If I'm getting into something, I really have to do it well. So painting is something that I felt I needed to do. Just like music back in the day. I felt that I really needed music, and now I feel that on top of music I also need to paint. So I have to do it. And there are no ifs, no buts, and no excuses. I got me the materials, and now I don't have any excuse at all. I see the easel, I have something there, a project to work, a painting, so I go and paint. And I didn't realize how much I really needed this, because as it turns out, it helped me, and it helps me to find clarity, to find balance, to think clearly, to rediscover myself, to reconnect with the little kid that I used to be way back. And it's not really about going back into the past. It's not really about that. It's about picking something up, going to some place and picking up where I left off. And realigning myself, being more honest with myself, finding that inner path, and finding, in a spiritual sense, finding the strength, the presence, the spirit to move on, and to know that I am indeed on my own path, that I'm not trying to get out of my way. It was one of those important things. Remember I told you about being a people pleaser? And that was a big problem for a variety of reasons in the past. So reconnecting with myself, becoming truer to myself, if there is such a word in English, truer, more honest, more true to myself. That's something I felt that I have to do it right now. Last year I didn't quite realize, well, what am I up to. This year I think I realized what am I up to, and this is big. For me personally, this is big. So this is why you're seeing me painting over and over again, new paintings, and there's going to be more. By the way, speaking of which, this painting is available. I finished it already. It's just hanging on my wall and drying. It's called Campobasso, Molise, street corner. I hope you enjoyed the paint through. If you have any questions or if you want me to make another video about these topics, leave me a comment and tell me about this. I love y'all, and you will hear me on the next episode. Meow.